Yet again, The Watcher has provided us with an exciting take on our beloved MCU characters. Continuing the saga, we see the story of T'Challa with genius tweaks. The curiosity of the young prince of Wakanda guides him to the grand exploration of the universe. The effects of such an alteration are pristine with remarkable portrayals of Thanos and Nebula. Tivan the Collector, who was beautifully played by Jeff Goldblum in the original series, also benefits from the tweaks. A more intimidating character arc is given to him with body traits to match the same. Chadwick Boseman's voice, T'Challa, might make you miss the legend even more.
I said a Ravager never flies solo.
With every dialogue, you can sense the seriousness of Boseman's work ethic. The efforts of creators pay dividends, as this might be the best episode of the entire series. So without further ado, let's get this started. The Watcher introduces us to the thematics of the episode. We understand the underlying comedy of errors that initially led to T'Challa becoming the Star-Lord. Instead of taking Peter Quill, Taserface and Kraglin humorously abducted T'Challa. Yondu saw the little boy's zeal to explore and opened up the whole universe for him to explore. Raised by Yondu, T'Challa becomes a Ravager and a blessing in disguise for the entire universe. In our original timeline, we have seen the destruction caused by Thanos. Still, such an event is totally evaded in this new timeline. In this timeline, Thanos meets T'Challa. Matt Titan's plan of destruction changes as T'Challa convinces him that the reallocation of resources can be more beneficial for the universe as a whole and would save millions of innocent lives. Nebula's character has a very optimistic undertone. Gamora's absence removes any competition for her and she becomes Thanos' only child. Her attire and hairstyle go along with her amicable attitude, which is complemented by her lymphomoid form. She mockingly calls T'Challa as Chacha, showing glimpses of romanticism for Chacha.
Hey, Chacha.
The formation of the Guardians of the Galaxy is not needed for the fact that Thanos is not genocidal anymore. Drax is the only one from the Guardians to be present there. His wife and kids are safe and sound here. Between the conversations, there is a sense of belongingness that overwhelms the viewers with theories. This iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy is quite subtle and sublime with its approach to events and arcs for the heroes and villains. It opens up new avenues for the adversary to manifest itself in the like of Kang the Conqueror or Galactus. Our protagonists are set to find out the cosmic dust called Ember of Genesis. Such cosmic dust has the potential to terraform ecosystems. As per T'Challa, it can help them eradicate the problem of hunger throughout the galaxy. Children of Thanos from the Infinity Wars accompany a new jacked antagonist as the Collector embraces his sinister side. As the story progresses further, a Wakanda ship is seen in the Collector's vault. T'Challa confronts Yondu for lying about Wakanda and its decimation. Deceiving the Collector by such a confrontation, T'Challa and Yondu succeed in attaining the Ember of Genesis. We also get to know T'Challa never had any grudges related to his abduction. On the contrary, T'Challa always acknowledged the opportunity Yondu gave him to explore the universe. In the end, the episode features Ego and Peter Quill meeting for the first time as Ego arrives at a Dairy Queen to meet his son. Such a caring and thoughtful Ego might deceive Quill and take advantage of his loneliness and innocence to feed his ulterior motives. And here comes the last chapter of our essay, the cascading effects of the changes. The aftermath of the episode puts forward the complexities regarding the various changes resulting directly from the changes of What If Episode 2. Thanos is not searching for an Infinity Stones. It removes Ronan from the picture as the Mad Titan doesn't need the orb. Furthermore, Killmonger and his claim to the throne of Wakanda is quite feasible with the absence of T'Challa. Loki is one of the most integral aspects in the formation of Avengers. T'Challa was abducted as a kid, which makes him ever present in the galactic events. And if Thanos didn't set out for collecting stones, Loki would not arrive in New York for the Avengers assemble. If Avengers still happened, it would have been impossible for Tony and Bruce to create Vision or Ultron. Further, Wanda and Quicksilver would not be there for the lack of the Mind Stone. Zemo's character would no longer need to bomb the UN, and T'Chaka would live long as the final scenes of What If T'Challa was Star-Lord. More theories until next time.